Look, they are trying to block our way to the bridge. Attack them, Shining Force! Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Shining Force. It's been a while, but, well, we're actually going to be finishing up Chapter 3 within this week. So, yeah, here's a look at the battlefield. This is outside Bustoke. I have a few things I want to talk about here. One thing is, right about, I think it's within a few seconds, there's a pause right about here. I don't know why there's a pause. Probably has something to do about when I originally recorded this, which was, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago. I can't remember. I think I recorded this on my laptop, and I think this is the first time I'm doing voice narration and editing and all this stuff on my laptop with the new version of Camtasia. So there's still a few things I'm figuring out. I promised this time that I wouldn't try to make any excuses, as you could say, or give an update about why I've been away or whatever. I feel my update video did a good job of that. But I just feel that since it's been a while since the update video, just the fact that I'm just trying to get into it, and I think these videos right here will be a good start. There are a few things with not only this video but the next video that I'm going to try to get into. I think right there I was trying to figure out what I was trying to do with Ken, where I wanted to go, and I decided I wanted to be right there attacking the skeleton. So yeah, there's some few things that I want to do. There are a few things I want to talk about. Some ideas I've had concerning this series, and what I want to do. By the way, the skeletons in this battle do have medical herbs, so be aware of that. If you kill them, you will get the medical herbs. Chances are that they're going to use it before you can kill them. The number one thing in this battle, your number one asset is going to be Zylo. You got him at the end of, you got him just before this battle. He has free range in the woods. He's not impeded. His movements are not really impeded. And that really comes in handy, because the thing that's going to make this battle long, and you're probably looking at the video time going, oh my word, it's almost half an hour. What makes this battle so long is the fact that it is in the woods, and your party just doesn't move that quickly. Now they have the enemies nicely spaced enough, but you're going to be doing a lot of your battling down here in the bottom part, and then spending the rest of it traveling. And I'll probably touch on that. I'll touch on that a little bit more in the video when I get to it. But I just want to say, and I'll show it in a little bit. I'm very impressed with Arthur. You saw him really doing a lot of damage. He's really advanced. I had it where I'm like, okay, I want to give this a try with raising Arthur up, and if it fails, it fails. And I've been impressed. I didn't expect Arthur to do that well. Something to keep in mind for later playthroughs, I guess. Hey, stop that. Sorry, my dog decided now was a good time to actually scratch on the floor. So I got a little bit distracted. So yeah, Zylo's going to be your go-to guy here. He can freely travel. He has a long range of travel. He can maneuver around the woods like crazy. You also want to have at least one flyer, because same deal. They're not going to be affected by movement speed at all. They're not going to be affected by land. So that's the general gist here. This is essentially a giant force fight, and like I said, it's very similar to, as far as movement, about the second battle when you were moving slowly up by the mountain, and that's what takes a while. But I know I wanted to talk about some things. I think you can see a lot of these characters now are close to level 10 or at level 10. I think I decided, I can't remember what I decided before this, what I was going to do. It probably has something to do with waiting until after the first fight in Chapter 4. Normally I try to have a few characters promoted by then to basically help with strength, plus having a gladiator at that point really helps, mainly because you're going to be picking up your first promotion-only weapon there in the battle, and really having that firepower is awesome. But I think what I decided to do is, since I am going to... I have planned to actually stream the final two videos of Chapter 4, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold off on doing any promoting until the stream video, because the stream is going to consist of two things. It's going to consist of the preparations before that final battle. It's going to consist of the final battle, and I think the preparations, a lot of it is showing off the little town, but there's not a lot to show off. That would be very quick, and so a lot of it is getting ready. And I think talking about promotions, going over how they work, and promoting my people for the last battle would be a good way to kick things off. And I think it would be great to do it live, and so that's what I decided to do. I don't think that was my original plan. Like I said, I think my original plan was just to just promote at the next town, because I have a lot of people ready. But I think waiting until the stream will be really good. How promotions work are... I can explain more into how promotions work, but as far as when you can promote a character at any point after they reach level 10. And they'll continue growing to, I think, about level... I want to say level 20 is when they'll stop. And what will happen is that whenever you promote a character, they lose stats temporarily, and then they'll start gaining them back very quickly. I'm sure anybody who has played any strategy games know how promotions work. The thing is, the longer you wait to promote a character, yeah, they're going to be a little bit weaker, which is probably going to make the battles in Chapter 4 tougher a little bit, which that one battle is not what I need, but I'm doing it anyway. But if you wait longer, is when they have the stat drop, it won't drop as sharply, and as a level 1 in the new, as level 1 in their new class, they're going to have much higher stats if you've waited a while. Now, since you can't really grind, I don't advise waiting too long, but yeah, it's something you can do. I remember the first time I played this, I waited until they were at least level 11 and had survived a fight. Not a good idea. I don't do it anymore, but yeah, that's what I did my first time through. So that's the general idea. Now, earlier you saw some Pegasus Knights. There were 4 Pegasus Knights in this battle, and they flew away. Yeah, the thing about the Pegasus Knights in this battle, they are cowards. They won't come up and they won't fight you directly. They'll try to run away, sometimes to the mountains on the right-hand side, sometimes up towards the left. You'll probably end up fighting 2 of them, but at least 2 of them are going to kind of run away and give you all sorts of trouble. So keep that in mind, because this will be very important later on. So we're just doing some things. A few things. Let's talk about something. You really want to be in this recording, don't you? Don't come back at me. I normally don't talk about what's going on when I'm doing these post-recording stuff. I just start over. It's like, you know what? No. It's been a while since I've done this. I'm going to do this. If my dog wants to get into this, let's let her get into this. A few interesting things about the recording things. Like I said, I think this is the very first time I'm editing a video on my laptop. Not the last. This is essentially my new recording and editing piece of hardware right here. Camtasia 8 looks interesting. Once you get used to it, it's not as different from Camtasia 7, although it has a few different features. Some of them which I'm still trying to get used to. It's a little bit more bullheaded than Camtasia Studio 7. One thing that's a little worrying about the zoom, since I did a little bit of editing and zoomed it in Camtasia, is I think the zoomed in portion that I'm seeing right now, I think it should be fine. Is you should only be seeing the gameplay, but I think like a little bit above the preview window, I'm actually seeing like the different parts, like above and below. I'm like I see my the Windows taskbar, and I see like the drop down menus and all that stuff. So when I try to cut it out, it's kind of reminding me, oh yeah, these are here if you wanted to include them, which I don't see why you would, but whatever. It's a little bit more. I wish I could still do some stuff. I had to get used to it. It's a way different system. Oh my word. It's easier to do some editing. It's harder to do other types of editing. I don't know how easier it's going to be doing to when I speed stuff up or slow stuff down or do stuff like that. I don't think I'll have to do much, but I do know. I don't think I ever told you what my goals were as far as video links for the Shining Force battles. I know some of these battles can be long. I apologize, but I think if you're watching this, you kind of know how long it is. You kind of want to see how it is. I think the limit I was set is 45 minutes as far as a full-length video. So battles up to 45 minutes length, I'll keep the entire thing and commentate over them. Was the battles 45? I don't know. I might change it. I think it was battles for 45. I think longer than that, I was going to speed it up at 2 times speed and narrate over it. I might change things a little bit because I'm approaching 30 minutes to see how it goes. I think 45 minutes is, for this type of project, is reasonable enough. Maybe, I don't know. I didn't really think that. Might be something I would do some discussion or whatever when I'm doing the stream. So if you have want to see any changes, that'll be one thing to do. I know I've thought about future projects, which is funny considering how things are going, but yeah, I do think about what I want to do for future projects. I have been considering. I like the Shining Force games. It's a little bit different though when you. Yes. Anyway, it's a little bit different when you record and do post commentary and all this other stuff. I thought when I decided to do post commentary, I thought it would be best because I knew there would be battles I'd have to do more than twice, and repeating some of the same information over and over and over again would just get too tiring. Live commentary would be funny, but it would be probably more interesting because you would see me reacting in real time. But again, if I don't want to show failed attempts because it's really long. So I decided it would be best to show the winning attempt and do post commentary because that way, you know, I won't have to record live commentary over and over and over again in some cases. And I'm thinking of that specific battle, the first battle in Chapter 4, and I'll talk about that when we get there. And that just didn't appeal to me. But now going over and doing post commentary, it's a challenge. Here you have some Pegasus Knights wanting to kind of pick a fight, but it's a challenge. Not to play. Playing is enjoyable, but it is one of the more challenging things to edit. Not from an editing point of view, more from the sitting down and doing it. Because I normally do a preview thing where I watch the video, has no commentary or whatever. I jot down notes. I tried doing it with notes. I tried doing it without notes. I think for battles I do it with notes. So I'll watch through whether I make notes or not, and I just kind of watch, get a feel. And then afterwards, that's when I do my second watch through, is when I'm doing it with commentary. So this is actually the second time I've sat down. So for 27 minutes, you guys think it's rough watching. I mean, some of you, I think there might be some of you I like it, but I think this is probably one of those projects that gets skipped a lot. And I don't blame some people. Some people would probably be more interested in seeing Chrono Trigger or Donkey Kong Country or whatnot, some of the other stuff I do. especially the co-op stuff. But yeah, so I do the post commentary, the second run through, and then afterwards I watch it a third time because yes, laptop here did it. Nice, you're saving power. That's nice. The third, well, I always do a final watch, no matter what I'm editing. After, you know, no matter how the editing process goes. Before I ever process the video, before I ever render the video, and before I ever put it onto YouTube, I will do a final watch through. See if I catch anything, whatever. Basically, the idea is, you know, if I can watch it, then I think audience members will watch it. Which is why I try to pick things up. I don't want it to be too boring, so I'm trying to come up with things to talk about. And then normally there is a fourth watch through, but this has nothing to do with the editing process. I do watch all my videos on YouTube at some point or another. Normally, like when I have playlists going, if a video is not on the playlist, that probably means I have not watched it again on YouTube yet. Because normally when I watch it, it goes into playlist. So anyway, that's the process for making one of these videos. Other types of videos, that's kind of how it goes. I think it'll be refreshing when I do the stream actually doing live commentary. And I'll also have almost real-time feedback. So that'll be nice. I think I've decided, since this is the 8th, which means Chapter 3 will be done this week, I think the next 2 weeks will be Super Mario Bros. Crossover. I decided I want to start Chapter 4 on the 29th. That way, the stream will fall August 3rd. The reason is I'm trying to hold a tradition when I was in... Okay, anyway, I'm going to pause and talk about this. I think I've mentioned this before. Enemies in the first Shining Force game seem to have this unnatural attraction to your main character. It makes sense because your main character dies, that's game over. But they'll put themselves in some weird positions and some hard positions just to get at your main character. It's very strange, and I call it the unnatural attraction. It's very annoying if you don't know what's going on, but if you actually plan for it to happen, you can set up some really interesting traps. But as you saw, is the Pegasus Knights started from up at the top, made this kind of L, went into the middle of my force just to get at my main character. You're going to be seeing a lot more weird stuff like that, especially as we get later into the game. I think there's a battle in Chapter 8 where it happens a lot. It's one of the quirks. They do go after the healers a little bit more. They tweak it, they improve it in later Shining Force games. Shining Force CD, Shining Force 2, it is fixed. As where they don't do stupid stuff just to get your main character, but they will try to cripple you a lot more than they try in this game. They'll try to make beelines for your healers, for your magic users, whatever. They do a little bit in this game, but mostly they kind of focus on your main character. Now, I'm about to make a decision here that's really stupid. It seems smart at the time, and what I was thinking here is I was thinking this is probably going to be a half-hour battle, and I don't want to drag this battle out any longer than it has to be. So I thought I'm going to go for the secondary win condition of getting to that bridge. You know, I have to beat those enemies to get to the bridge. I know the Pegasus Knights are cowards, but if I go after them, they're going to lead me on a merry chase. They're going to make this battle longer than it is. So they're cowards, so I'm going to leave them be, and I'm going to go off the opposite direction and let them do whatever they want. I've had this happen before, where they'd be on the right-hand side, and they would completely ignore me. Now, the thing is, it sounds like a good plan. Some days, it might actually work. The problem is, the Pegasus Knights are actually waiting me out. And their plan is to flank me. And the thing is, as I've said, is this is the forest. Most of my characters can't get anywhere very fast. So if I have a lot of my really good characters, near the front and far away, they can't get back in time to help out the characters in the back, which can prove to be a problem. So, as we move things around here, I think it's going to happen soonish. I think it happens, yeah, move Zylo over here. I want to be moving my main character up, and then they're going to kind of time things out. As you can see, my characters are, my party's spread out because of course I can't move very fast, but the main part of the party is up and to the right. Which means they're not going to be able to get very far if the Pegasus Knights decide to swoop down. And wait for it. Zylo, get out of the bird. Thank you. Anri up there. Guess what they're doing? You're disappointing me. I know what happens. I've seen this. Don't change it now. Okay. Maybe I jumped the gun a little bit here, but yep, there we go. They're moving. They decide to flank us, and I can't get very far very quickly. Now, I love this. Watch this. 9 damage and then 8 damage. Almost kills him. Have I said how impressed I am with Arthur? I don't think I can say enough. I am very impressed with Arthur. It's very interesting. So yeah, it's now just trying to get to the Pegasus Knights. Hans is not where I wanted to be to get there. And I thought about with Balbaroy attacking the priest, but I'm like, I need to take care of these Pegasus Knights. So yeah, I recognize the danger now and go to get rid of them. But yeah, can't hit him. I don't know what the evasion is, but I do the same thing with Zylo before figuring out, you know, it's probably best to kind of get rid of this guy. So, that's it for pacing. Now, you think I'd learned my lesson. You think at this point that I would at least split the party into 2. Get part of the party up there to deal with the last 2 members and the bottleneck, and send the rest over to deal with the last Pegasus Knight. After they're done, they kind of move over. I should have done that. But, you know, having one Pegasus Knight flank me was not enough. I had to move my main character and get Anri killed. Because, of course, it's Anri. So now it's just a matter of facing this last Pegasus Knight. But anyway, I'm going to move back quickly on and finish my thing about what's going on in August. Back when I was doing stuff for Unreal Arcade, I started what was going to be a tradition called RPG Month in August. I was doing a lot of things that was very RPG-centric. I want to do something similar again with some streaming. But I'm by myself this time, so here's what I'm going to do. I still want to do first impressions. The main thing where first impressions is going to be a part of it is not up and running yet, but I think at the very least, if it's not ready by August, I want to do it by myself on my channel, where on Fridays will be first impressions of a RPG game. An RPG I have not played. There are 5 weeks, 5 Fridays, there's 5 games. I have no idea what I'm going to do, but I figured that during that time, it would be perfect that on that first Sunday, I would be able to stream and do the Shining Force stream, of streaming those last 2 videos of Chapter 4 live. So, that's why I am going to be starting Chapter 4 on the 29th. So, you know, the first 2 videos, well, not the first 2 videos, but the 29th and the 31st will be the first part of Chapter 4, and then on the 3rd, August 3rd, I will stream the finale of Chapter 4, the Impossible Battle, and then of course those videos would go up on the 5th. So, now that I'm not talking, now that I've talked mainly about way other stuff, let's just do a final thing about what's going on here. I've mentioned before that the main... You can beat all the enemies, but the main objective here is to get your main character to that bridge. Now, again, number one is very hard to move through the forest. Number two, the last two enemies are in this bottleneck, and it's very hard to get things just right. You're only going to be able to have... If you brought flyers, you're only going to it would have 2 or 3 close range people attacking, and at most 2 long range people. And it's going to be very hard for you to get those long range fighters where you need them to be, which is why I only move my main character so far. Another thing is you have this priest that's healing, getting very annoying, and taking care of Lizardman and the Priest is a pain in the rear end, to say the very least. So, yeah, getting Zylo in here, having him attack, and the bad part is, I'm getting everything lined up, and this priest just doesn't want to die. I don't know what it is, but this priest really wants to live, and so is really stretching things out. I mean, I try my best to move on, I try my best in this one to actually limit the amount of time. I got flanked, I had a priest that dodged like crap. I tried to have this just be a 20-minute video, guys, or a 20-minute fight. They wouldn't have it. So I think, yeah, Balbaroy can't touch him. Only got a little bit of shooting into them. And if I don't hurry in, and yeah, the priest is going to heal. So it's like, I can't touch him. The priest is just untouchable. The good news is I have things kind of set out to finish this. And it's just a matter of getting things lined up. So yeah, get your healers in place, ready to go. And then shooting with Hans. Which gets him down to 8. Unfortunately, Hans will shoot again and miss. That would have finished it. But thankfully, I have Teo here to kind of help things out. Just waste a Blaze level 2, because there's no reason not to at this point. And that will be it for the battle. So, I'll see you guys at the next one. Thank you. This has been Bulbazak, and I'll see you next time. Head for the bridge. We need to get across quickly.